Hi guys! I wanted to make a video today about the 9 most simple ways that you can improve your microbiome right now. So the number one tip I can give you for increasing your microbiome diversity would be a high fiber diet. That's tip number one. So our ancestors were eating up to 100 grams of fiber every day. They know this from studying paleo poop, but also the communities that live quite rurally in China, Africa, South America, that are the healthiest and have the highest microbial diversity are eating the highest amount of fiber. Obviously, they're not eating processed food, they're eating whole food fiber. Number two, kind of goes along with number one, but a plant-based whole food diet. So I am an advocate for the vegan diet, the plant-based diet. If you want to put a bit of meat in there, if that suits you better in your lifestyle, go ahead and do that. But the way to increase your microbial diversity is eating the most anti-inflammatory foods, which are going to be nuts, legumes, whole grains, fruits, and vegetables. The main goal is to not eat processed foods. If you want to eat plant-based, there is a lot of processed options out there. Things like processed meat, dairy, and alcohol are really bad for your microbiome. So this is why I suggest a plant-based, whole food, high fiber diet. Number three, exercise. So we know that exercise is good for us. Recent studies have showed that the microbial diversity in the gut and on the body of athletes are the most diverse and are the strongest. Obviously, athletes are also eating healthier as well, but nonetheless, aerobic exercise is incredibly good for your microbiome. And I also would like to point out yoga is really awesome as well because it has the meditative aspect. One thing I want to say is weight training does not have the same effect on the microbiome as an aerobic exercise. So just keep that in mind to try to balance that out. But even if you're doing yoga or trying to walk 30 minutes a day, that's going to make a huge, huge difference in your mental and physical health. Number four, meditate. Meditation is good for so many different things. For clearing your mind, reducing anxiety, stress, even helping with depression. But physically, not only does it calm you down and calms your cortisol levels, but meditation has been proven to increase your microbial diversity in your microbiome. Why not do that then? Number five, sun. Get in the sun as much as possible. I recommend getting as much sun as you can. Maybe in the summer, don't be out there for 7 hours a day, but what you essentially need is 30 minutes a day, full body exposure. And most of us are not getting that. Maybe in the summer, but in the winter, definitely not. Sun is a powerful antimicrobial, and obviously it's the best source of vitamin D for your body. When you have adequate levels of vitamin D, you are your healthiest and it prevents you from getting sick. If in the wintertime you're not able to get the sun, you will not be getting the full benefits, but try to be taking a vitamin D3 supplement. Number six, I really urge you to get rid of all your cosmetic and cleaning products that have chemicals and toxins, which I guarantee are all of them. It is incredibly hard for me to find clean, really clean cleaning products and cosmetics, and the only thing that I could find was Dr. Bronner's. So I just use a large Dr. Bronner's and I just use that mixed with water to clean everything, my laundry, my surfaces, my tub, my toilet, everything. And obviously it's cheap to do that as well. The other thing, cosmetics and hair products, everything, our skin products. There's so much toxins in these. As I know from working at Jumo, the skin microbiome company, it is impossible to find these products. You really, really have to search. So I only use coconut oil on my skin as a moisturizer, and I only use coconut oil on my hair. I do a rinse with apple cider vinegar twice a week, and I don't use any conditioner because all of these products, our ancestors, the Paleolithic, Megalithic era, they were not using shampoo and conditioner. They weren't putting tons of stuff on their face, night creams, all these things. I get compliments all the time about how amazing my skin looks. I don't do anything. I shower twice a week, maybe 3 times. You really shouldn't be showering that much. So I know that might sound really disgusting to people, but our ancestors weren't showering every day and getting all of our oils and bacteria off of us. In order to repopulate our microbiomes, we need to get rid of the alcohol-ridden, these chemical-laden cosmetics and chemicals that we're putting in our bodies, because when we're putting it on our skin or even washing our clothes with it, it does transfer to us. So that leads me to my next point is however clean your environment is, that's going to reflect in your microbiome. So if you have a really sterile environment, you're going to be a lot more sterile and not in a good way. So my 7th tip is to live amongst nature and animals. And not a lot of us can do this. I live in an apartment, a 3rd floor apartment. It's very difficult to do this. One way that we can help with this is adding plants. That is going to help increase our microbial diversity just in the air and the things that we're touching. Get our hands in the dirt, our feet in the dirt, as much as you can, even if you live in a city and an apartment. The other thing is, open your windows as much as you can, even when it's freezing out. I open my windows an hour each day, even if it's freezing out or if it's raining, because you want to be inoculating your space with better bacteria. If you're always having your windows closed and using recirculated air, you're not going to have a thriving microbiome in your environment. How can you have a thriving microbiome inside your body? Number 8, eat fermented and cultured foods. So fermented foods can also be called synbiotics, which means that there's prebiotics and probiotics combined in the whole food source, which I recommend over a probiotic in a supplement form, because a lot of those aren't even being seeded in your gut, because it's not coming with the prebiotics and the enzymes necessary to help seed. One thing that I do want people to emphasize is that your gut garden does need to be healthy. And what I mean by that is you need to cultivate a gut garden that is going to seed your synbiotics. So look at ways to add different fermented or cultured foods, just a few servings a week if you can, like sauerkraut, kimchi. Those are two of my favorites. I make my own beet kvass. Super, super good for you. It's a Ukrainian Russian drink that helps inoculate your body with natural probiotics. Instead of taking a supplement, it has a much, much wider range of diverse microbes, which is what we're trying to do. And there's a much higher chance that it's going to be seeded in your gut when it's taken in the whole food form. Number 9. This is one of the most important things that you can do, is avoid pharmaceuticals. This includes antibiotics. This includes ibuprofen. This includes steroids, asthma, inhalers. Any sort of pharmaceutical drug is impacting your microbiome. Probably first and foremost, antibiotics. If you take one round of antibiotics, you are destroying 1/3 of your gut microbiome. Well, not just your gut, your whole microbiome. That's why people develop a lot of times oral thrush and yeast infections, skin infections right after antibiotics. It can take up to 2 to 4 years to rebuild your microbiome after one round of antibiotics. This is how important this is. Only take it if you're absolutely, absolutely sure that you need them. The Mayo Clinic did a study on sinusitis, one of the most common sinus infections, and 95% was caused by yeast and fungus. So taking antibiotics is actually making it worse. You're literally killing off more of your good bacteria and yeast is able to thrive. So you're creating more of a dysbiosis. So if you are sick, the best thing that you can do is not take pharmaceuticals. Don't spend money going to the doctor. Rest, drink lots of water and hydrate, eat lots of fiber, cut out all sugar and processed foods. And if you want, take some natural supplements, but really just eating really, really well and supporting your microbiome is the best thing that you can do because your microbiome is fighting off the infection for you. Taking antibiotics is literally gonna kill your immunity. So please, please do not do that. So now that you know about the 9 most simple ways to improve your microbiome, please try to implement these as much as you can. Thanks, guys.